Hey guys, welcome back to another video and this channel where I love to show you how you can live a healthy, thriving, whole foods, plant-based lifestyle pretty easily. Now, how do we do that? Well, with pretty simple meals, like let's stop complicating things, right? And today I'm going to be showing you 3 simple meals that I have eaten to become the healthiest version of myself. These meals have helped me lose up to 40 pounds of unhealthy body fat that I have been carrying around for close to about 7 years. Well, not anymore. And let me say, these meals aren't just for, losing fat on your body. They're also great if you want to just maintain this lifestyle. You want to maintain the way that you look and feel now. You want to keep it up. I actually have pretty much reached my goal, and I'm excited about that. So now everything I'm eating has been just to keep this feeling of being alive and full of energy going. So let's get right to it. I don't want to keep talking and delaying the inevitable, which are these yummy, yummy meals. This has become one of my favorite breakfasts to eat. I will have 1 sweet potato, and I love to cook these on the weekends and then just store some already cooked sweet potatoes in the refrigerator. I'm gonna be adding 1 teaspoon of ground flax seeds, 1 whole banana, and if I don't top the whole sweet potato with 1 banana, I'll eat the rest of it. I have 1 tablespoon of PB2. Now I like to use PB2 because it is super low in fat and calories, but I'm also going to be adding just a half of a teaspoon of peanut butter to the peanut sauce we're going to be making to give it a real, peanut flavor. So we're going to go ahead and mix up this sauce. Now, the reason that, I want to keep the fat content down with this, which is why I'm using PB2 mostly and just a little bit of normal peanut butter. We want this meal to be more nutritionally dense than calorically dense. So we're also adding fat with the flaxseed at the end as well. So overall, you want this meal for maximum weight loss. You want this meal to not be so calorically dense. And one of the ways to do that is to make sure that the peanut butter we're drizzling on top is not full of fat and calories. And that's about the consistency that I like it. Now for this, I'm not sure I need to narrate, but I'm just peeling and cutting up this banana. I don't need it to be fancy at all. I'm just gonna slice it up and throw it on top of this sweet potato. All right, now I'm just going to slice open this sweet potato. And like I said a little while ago when I was showing you the ingredients, I love to cook my potatoes on the weekend. I just throw them in the Instant Pot. It cooks them really fast. And then I store them in the refrigerator. That way I have already soft potatoes on hand and I can just throw them in the microwave if I want to make a meal like this really quickly. So that's a great little tip you can do if you find yourself eating a lot of potato meals or, you're in a hurry a lot like I am. So let's dress this sweet potato. I'm going to go ahead and throw on some of these bananas. Now that's about all the bananas I'm going to put on there, and I will eat the rest on the side. Don't worry about those little stragglers. I'm going to top this with the ground flaxseed. Now this is just a teaspoon of ground flaxseed, and as you can see, I didn't use it all. Not because, I didn't want to, but just because I feel like it was a little too much for the potato. I'm just drizzling my peanut butter sauce on here. Ugh, so delicious, and there you go. Now, if you have cinnamon, throw that on top too. I was just out of it. All right, this quick and easy taco bowl is a favorite in my house. Now right here I am using canned beans. Y'all, canned beans are just as nutritious as dried beans, but you do want to make sure if you're buying canned beans that you get a can that is BPA free, and try to get the can that says no salt added, because you will find a lot of canned beans have sodium added. If that's the case, go ahead and rinse off the beans. Or use dry beans, but when you're in a hurry like me, sometimes it's great to use canned beans. I'm also using frozen peppers right here. Now, again, I have 2 little kids, I'm busy. I do use fresh peppers and fresh corn from time to time, but I like to keep frozen on hand for when I'm in a hurry, and that is what I'm using here. I'm also adding about a cup of cooked brown rice. Now, this total amount right here is enough for me and my husband. There's no way I can eat all of this with all that rice and all of the beans and veggies and this spinach. So we're going to be putting a couple handfuls of this fresh spinach into a bowl, and then after all this cooks together, we're going to be topping the spinach with that. You can use chopped romaine if you want. I do that from time to time. And we're going to be topping this with just some homemade taco sauce. Now you can, or not taco sauce, taco seasoning. Now you can buy taco seasoning, but you need to watch out for all the sodium in there. This is really just chili powder, sea salt, garlic powder, a little bit of nutritional yeast, and some salt. Now we're just going to be throwing all of this in a pan. As you can see here, this is not very complicated. We're literally just throwing all this together. The great thing about frozen veggies is that you don't really need anything to saute it in, because, of all the water from when it's frozen. As it melts, it kind of just leaks out into the pan and everything doesn't stick. But if you want to, saute your veggies in something, go ahead and use some water, or I like to use sometimes for other dishes veggie broth just to add some more flavor. We're just going to mix all of this together. And now we're just going to put our handfuls of spinach into a big old bowl. This is about, 3 decent handfuls of spinach. And now let's put our taco concoction on top. Now the amount that I am putting on here is about half of the pot. So like I said, this is about enough for two servings for sure. I usually can only eat 1 serving because it's just so filling, but delicious. Let's make these sloppy joes. So I am using my Instant Pot to make this concoction. You can use a pot on the stove if you don't have an Instant Pot or a pressure cooker. You're just going to have to cook it for about 20 minutes if you're doing that. I'm going to go ahead and saute my veggies in some veggie broth here in the Instant Pot. Now, what I am putting in here is 1 onion, 1 green pepper, and 3, I think it's 3, might be 4, 3 to 4 garlic cloves. Now, I like to just throw all of this in a food processor, chop it up really quick because it's a lot faster than me doing it by hand, but you do what you want when you make your sloppy joes. Next, I am pouring in 1 cup of water and then 1 cup of veggie broth. And then after that, I'm just going to give it a really good stir to make sure nothing is sticking to the bottom of the pot. And then I'm going to throw in 1 cup of red lentils. Now, I love to use red lentils because they absorb so much better than brown or green lentils, but you can use those if you want to. I just like the more mushy consistency, if you will, of red lentils too, because when you have a family who's used to meat, I just feel like this is a more meaty consistency when you do the red lentils. So if you have a family who's not vegan and you want them to like this, I would go for the red lentils if I was you. And now I'm pouring in 1 can of tomato sauce. Next, I'm putting in 1 can of tomato paste. Now this is 6 ounces and the tomato sauce was 8 ounces. And I'm just gonna make sure I scoop as much of that out as I can, pretty much all of it. And when you're buying these cans, just make sure that, you know, there's nothing added to them. It's just basic tomato ingredients, no added sugars or tons of sodium. We're just going to give that a good stir again to make sure nothing is sticking to the bottom. And now I'm going to be adding 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. Ugh, I hate saying that word. You know what I mean. And 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. 1 teaspoon of chili powder. And then I'm going to take that same teaspoon and just add 1 scoop or teaspoon of yellow mustard. Just going to stir that in there to get all of it off. And then last but not least, 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. And then we are going to stir all of this together really well before we put the lid on. Again, just to make sure nothing is sticking to the bottom. So we're going to put the lid on, hit pressure cook, and you want it to cook for 15 minutes. If you're doing this on the stove, I would do about 20 minutes and then just let it cook. And looky what we get here at the end. Y'all, this is so good. My whole family loves this. Well, minus my daughter who eats like a rabbit, but oh, it is just one of our favorite things lately. All right, now let's construct these sloppy joes with some bread. Now, I like to eat Ezekiel bread because it's not processed, it's great for weight loss, and it's great just for overall health in general. My husband likes his sloppy joes on these vegan hamburger buns, so let's go ahead and make these. I'm gonna make 2 separate ones for y'all. So I toast my Ezekiel bread like really long so it's super crunchy, but I just load on the sloppy joe on there. Now if you want to get some extra greens in, feel free to add some spinach on top. I love to do that. I don't think it changes the flavor of the sloppy joe at all, but like I said, I'm getting some extra greens in there, and then look at that. Delicious. Now let's go ahead and make the sloppy joes for the men in my family. They love these, like I said, on vegan hamburger buns. I just slap it on there, and I do also make some oil-free fries for them on the side, or you know, just some healthier version vegan chips that I can find, and they just absolutely love this meal. Y'all, so freaking delicious. Every single meal I just showed you. And again, these meals are meals that I ate throughout my whole weight loss or fat loss journey, and I also still eat them now just to maintain and just live this amazing lifestyle that I'm living. Another great thing about these meals is that they are so yummy and tasty that if you find yourself with a non-vegan family like I did for a very long time, your family's probably gonna wanna still eat these, especially the sloppy joes. If you want to see more meals like this and actually see meals that I am eating on an everyday basis, again, I still eat the same meals that I ate when I was on my weight loss journey. So if you find yourself trying to get healthier and lose weight, you're gonna wanna follow me over on Instagram to see what I'm eating every day. And if you just wanna eat a healthy, whole foods, plant-based lifestyle, make sure you head over to Instagram and follow me at Hungry Vegan Mama. Again, I'm posting every day, almost every day, what I am eating, but you know, life is kind of crazy sometimes. So also in the link below, make sure you head on over to my website, Hungry Vegan Mama. Soon I am coming out with an actual ebook and physical copy of a book called The Simple Vegan. This book is going to be a 28-day guide to help you transition over to or really live a thriving whole foods plant-based diet very easily. I'm going to have all of my tips and tricks that I used throughout my transition with, being a mom of 2 very young kids, having a business on the side, and living with a family that wasn't vegan to start with. So all of those tips and tricks are going to be in there, as well as information on how I actually lost my 40 pounds eating this way. So make sure you click on that and subscribe to be notified when that book comes out, because you're not going to want to miss it. And so that is it for me today. I hope y'all have a great week, and I will be seeing you next Monday. Talk to y'all later.